So Sniper Elite 3 looks like a generic World War II shooter where you're a generic World War II guy and you shoot Nazis. Sounds pretty forgettable, right? Wait a second. Now, on the surface, Sniper Elite 3 appears to be a budget game. You know, Sniper Elite 2 was okay, and you'd be surprised. This is actually a good bit of fun. While at times it feels pretty basic and kind of half-baked, there's a lot of fun to be had, and there's a charm to it that you just can't deny. While it's not really a deep or smart game, strategy is required. What I really love about it is that you need to plot out the environment with your binoculars, tag enemies, set traps, set up your approach, and I love that. And I love going into a base and making sure you tag all the enemies, because if you don't and you see an enemy that you didn't tag, you get really caught off guard and you're screwed, and it feels good. It feels like you actually really have to prepare. You have to mark your enemies because you're an elite sniper, man. And the best part about the game, surprise, it's fucking sniping. Sniping feels really good. While it's not silent scope, it's not the boss battle with the end from Metal Gear Solid 3, it's not serious sniping, it's very arcadey. It feels great. It's very easy. It's not like you have to take a lot of wind into the factor and gravity and stuff. It's pretty basic. You slow down time, you shoot a guy in the head, and it looks beautiful because you get X-ray shots when you pull off a successful shot that shows bullets ripping through skulls, shattering intestines and rib cages, and just it's absolutely beautiful in motion, and it's really impressive with how detailed it is. And it's really rewarding. It's my favorite part of the game because you rack up points, you level up, you get experience, you unlock weapon upgrades, and I that sense of progression is really cool because you want to aim for a guy's dick. You want to shoot him in his penis. Or you want to get the perfect headshot, or you want to snipe a guy through his binocular lens. It's really cool, and you can do it all. Now, when you move in for close quarters, which you do a lot, and I will admit I didn't like that because you find yourself up close and personal quite a bit, and this is where the game still kind of falters. While not as bad as Sniper Elite V2, the enemy AI is pretty dumb. It's good stealth, it's solid stealth, but it's so simple, and enemies will look around at your last known position and then quickly give up, and it's very easy. But light and shadow is important, crouching, crawling, stuff like that, and pulling off a perfect headshot with a silenced pistol feels really good. It's very easy, like one hit stealth takedowns, stuff like that. Other than that, that's about it. There's not really much of a cover system, and there's not really anything else to it. It's very simple, but it works. Thankfully, the game really shows its biggest trick right in the beginning. You're sniping guys, their heads are exploding, but the game keeps enough variety to keep things exciting. Where there's missions where you can't get spotted at all, sometimes you gotta fight a tank, which is pretty cool. It still manages to be enjoyable throughout, even though it's not the longest game. Design-wise, it looks pretty good, but it sounds great. And one thing I really like in the gameplay is masking your shots. Using sound around you, like a plane flying by or explosions going off. If you time that when you fire your shot, no one will hear the sound of your gun and people will just die. And it's perfect, and it feels great. That really is what this game is. It's just a payoff of a good visceral feel in a decent third-person shooter. I can't tell you what the story is. The story is absolutely stupid. I can't even tell you the name of the main character. It's generic war shooter man. There's some evil project and secrets that you discover, and you need to shoot Nazis in Africa, and that's cool, I guess. That's one thing that saves it. The setting in Africa, it makes it a little less generic World War II, which is cool, although I did get sick of the setting after a while, because it's just desert after desert, and it's a night and day, and that's about it. But there's a lot of fun to be had here. There's challenges, there's a lot of difficulty levels, and there is multiplayer, which I did play a little bit, and it's pretty competent. Snipers versus snipers, a lot of players in decent maps, and it's cool. There's also DLC where you can hunt down and snipe Hitler, and you can shoot him in the balls as well. So Sniper Elite 3 is a pretty good, fun game. I think it retails for $50, and I don't know if I can totally recommend that because it does feel a little cheap and it is over quick. It's kind of like this one big trick, and if you're not into the one big trick of sniping and exploding heads, then you may not be into it. So definitely if you can rent it or if you can find it on the cheap, you'll definitely enjoy it. Just don't set your expectations too high and you'll have an absolute blast. But most importantly, I want to know what you guys think about Sniper Elite 3. Have you been playing it? Are you into it? Could you make any sense of the story more than I could? I like the main character. He was badass, but I don't remember his name. Do you? What's your favorite sniper? But if you haven't played it, does this review make you want to play it? Would you buy this game for 50 bucks? I think it's 40 on Steam. I don't know, but let me know. And as always, guys, I'm Jake Baldino. You can like me on Facebook, you can yell at me on Twitter, and you can subscribe because video games.